The mark of the Iron Buffalo. The sun was setting behind the row of aging buildings on the east side of Clearwater, a mid-sized city with a reputation for forgetting its past. Its streets cracked like old bones, and its people walked with the tired rhythm of lives built on hard labor and harder history on this particular evening. Luther Briggs, an 83-year-old black man, made his usual walk home from the community center. He had just finished tutoring local kids in math, something he'd done voluntarily for the last 15 years. Dressed in a worn but clean brown jacket, with a gray fedora perched on his head, he cut a dignified figure. His left hand rested heavily on a carved cane, a cane that bore intricate tribal patterns, if one cared to look closely. But not many people looked closely anymore, as Luther crossed a desolate alley shortcut near Pierce Street. A group of young white men stepped out from behind a graffiti-tagged dumpster. 5 of them mid-20s, pale tattoos, Confederate flag patches stitched into their jackets. One had a swastika on his neck. Another carried a chain loosely in one hand. These weren't just local punks. They were part of something larger, a violent gang that called themselves the Iron Sons, who prided themselves on purifying the neighborhood evening. Old man. One of them sneered, "You walkin' in the wrong part of town." Luther stopped, lifting his eyes. "I walk where I please, big talk from someone half-hour." Another chuckled. "We don't like your kind here." They stepped closer, but Luther didn't flinch. He calmly pulled his jacket aside, revealing his left forearm. What they saw made them freeze. A large, faded tattoo of a black buffalo with iron horns covered his skin. Below it, a set of numbers and coordinates. The leader's face went white. "No fin way," he whispered. The one with the chain lowered it. That's the Iron Buffalo." "He's one of them?" who the youngest asked. Eyes wide, the leader grabbed him. "We get out of here." Now they ran fast and stumbling like they'd seen a ghost. Their shouts echoed down the alley until the night swallowed them whole. Luther adjusted his coat side and kept walking. Word of the incident spread fast. The Iron Sons avoided that alley afterward. Some even left Clearwater. Rumors buzzed. Some said Luther was part of a secret military group. Others said he was a former spy. The truth was stranger and older. The Iron Buffalo was the mark of the Shadow Battalion 614, a top-secret black unit. Formed in 1952 during the Korean War, the government never acknowledged its existence. These men were elite scouts, cryptographers, saboteurs, chosen for both their skill and the secrecy their invisible status provided. They operated in silence, winning battles never recorded in history books. Many died. The few who returned were sworn to secrecy under penalty of imprisonment. Luther had been one of the last surviving members. After the war, he was forgotten. The country he had protected with his life erased his contribution. He worked as a janitor, a welder, and finally a teacher, carrying the weight of history alone. But history doesn't stay buried forever. A week after that alley incident, a young journalist named Rosa Davila heard about the story while covering gang violence in Clearwater. Curious, she visited Luther at the community center. He didn't want to talk at first, but eventually, over tea and chess games, he began to share fragments. Never enough to betray his oath, but enough to open a window into something deeper. Rosa wrote a piece, "The Man with the Buffalo Tattoo." It went viral. Veterans came forward. Families of missing soldiers recognized his story's pressure mounted on Congress to declassify documents related to Battalion 614. By the time Luther passed peacefully 2 years later, his tattoo had become a symbol not of fear, but of pride. Murals were painted across the city. Clearwater's high school renamed itself Buffalo Ridge High. A documentary aired on PBS, and the alley where the gang had cornered him, it was renamed Briggs Way, lit by solar lanterns lined with flowers and watched over by a bronze statue, a stoic elder holding a carved cane. The Iron Buffalo visible on his arm, because sometimes the most dangerous thing you can do to hatred is survive it and leave your mark behind.